Hi, Michael Faust here. I want to share some information about the Daisy DeFi token. Now that more details have been released about the Daisy token in regard to the vesting periods, the staking conditions, and the various terms and conditions, many people are weighing up their options. What do I do? Do I sell the tokens that are released to me to cover my initial outlay? Do I HODL and stake all my tokens that are released to me? What outcomes does each strategy deliver? I totally understand that everyone has different goals. Some want to get their capital back ASAP. Some want to sell the tokens to recover their capital and generate some cash flow. Others want to HODL for future price gain and build up an asset with serious growth potential. In the rest of this video, I will show you a few scenarios that help you make informed decisions. So what is the optimal choice? My personal recommendation is to look at this as a long-term opportunity to fund significant goals and even retirement. The upside for HODLing and staking for the next few years is that you earn many rewards that can provide additional ways to recover your capital, grow your capital, and generate serious cash flow while you wait for your Daisy tokens to reach their full potential and have 100% of your tokens released to you from the vesting process. The calculator used in this video is available for download. Click on the link in the video description and be sure to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. Okay, so let's dive in. Okay, so in this first table we have an overview of the Daisy token, the token offering and the different tokens that are available and the stages, the token price for each of those different token offerings, the vesting period, which is the period where coins or tokens are locked so you can't sell them to avoid people dumping them on the market and crashing the price. We have the unvesting details about how much is released to you over which periods from the vesting period and whether you get staking rewards. So for example, the free bonus pool tokens that you get by qualifying for the various incentive pools, they have a 32-month vesting period where for the first 12 months 100% is vested and locked down, and then they release 5% per month starting in month 13 until fully unvested, and there's no staking rewards for those free tokens. For the 4 rounds to the Daisy community, the discounted pre-sale that starts at 10 cents to $1, they have a 23-month vesting period where 5% is released to you within the first 90 days and then 5% per month ongoingly until 100% is unvested, and you do earn the staking rewards during that time. Then we move to the preferred customer model where you basically get access to the token at $1.25, and there is again a 23-month vesting period, 5% released in the first 90 days, then 5% per month, and there is staking rewards earned during that vesting period. The public pre-sale, which begins at $2.50 and ends at $5, has no vesting period, so there's no unvesting rules, and whether you stake is totally optional, the same as any tokens you purchase from a public exchange, which is listing at $5 and then market conditions determine the price. There is no vesting period and there is no unvesting details, and whether you stake again is totally up to the holder of the token. So now let's look at a scenario. Let's assume that you have registered with Daisy, you funded your first tier, and you are now eligible to purchase a $100 token pack. So you've entered number 1 for the number of $100 token packs, and you've managed to get them in the first round at 10 cents. So therefore you have 1,000 tokens. You can see here the total $100 spent, 1,000 tokens. Initial listing price on the exchanges of $5, and we're going to be ultra conservative and say that it only grows at 5% per month. So let's scroll down a little bit further to the next table, and we're going to talk about what happens with a DAISY pre-sale scenario for tokens that you've purchased with two different strategies. One is where you HODL and you stake, and the other is where you sell any tokens that become unvested and are available for you to do as you please. So we've got the number of months starting in July when you make your purchase of the token pack on July 1, and the months that the tokens are vested, the number of tokens. We've got the percentage of tokens that are vested. As we said, for the first 90 days, any pre-sale tokens that you've purchased, you'll have 5% released over the course of that 90 days, and then 5% per month. So slowly the percentage of tokens that are vested is reducing by 5% per month. So the total amount of tokens that are locked or vested is reducing on a monthly basis. Ultimately, by the end of May 2023, no more tokens will be vested. 5% of your tokens are released from vesting. So this is the number of tokens that are vested, that are released. And we've got here in August going live on the exchange at $5. A 5% growth per month would mean that we would have a coin or a token at nearly $14 by May 23, which is very conservative considering that many experts are talking about $50, $100, even $200 in that same period. But let's be ultra conservative. So the value of the tokens that are locked and vested works like this. We have 95% of the tokens vested at a potential price of $5.51 in October, would mean there'll be $5,327 worth of tokens that are vested, and we've got 276 that have been released to us. So let's say that you did choose to sell them. So in October, by end of October, you would have the full 5% released at $5.51 a token. You'd have $276. If you wanted to sell, that means you've got back your $100 that you spent on the token pack, and you would also retrieve the $100 that you would have funded towards your first tier contribution to the crowdfund. In month 2, another 5% is released. If you sold that, $289 with a 5% growth in the coin. So each month you could sell potentially the 5% that's released, with a total accumulated sale value of over $8,500 that you would have made. If you didn't sell any of the tokens that were released to you and you staked them where you're earning the actual staking reward, so you held on to all of your tokens, and let's say that by May 2023 the coin was worth $13.93, your total 1,000 tokens will be worth $13,900. So you can see there's greater value by hodling and staking, because you've not only got the increased value, but you've got all the staking rewards that you would have earned along the way, all these free tokens and other rewards. But let's say that the growth of the coin was, say, 10%. So it grew to $37 over this 23-month period. Even that's a conservative estimate. That would mean that you would have made $15,700 plus if you had sold all of the tokens that were released to you. But if you had hodled and staked, you would have 1,000 tokens worth over $37,000, and you would have earned all the staking rewards. Let's say 15% growth on average per month. That would be a $94 coin, which is within the range of the predictions. So that would mean that you would have $29,000 you would have made from selling your coins. Not bad for a $200 initial outlay, $100 for a tier, $100 for the tokens. But you would have $94,000 if you hadn't sold them at the end of that period, and you've earned all the staking rewards during that period. Now let's look at if you had have maybe added one more token pack. So you upgraded, you've crowdfunded to tier 2, so you contributed $300 to the crowdfund, you can now purchase $300 worth of tokens. That would give you 3,000 tokens if you got them all at 10 cents. So with 3,000 tokens, if we scroll down here, we can see this comparison. We would have made $88,000. Well, let's be conservative with our numbers again. Let's go back and make that 5% growth per month. So we would have $25,000 of potential sale value. And what did we spend? $300 on the crowdfund and $300 on the tokens. That's $600 for a $25,000 upside. But if we've HODLed and staked, we would have a $41,000 plus upside, and we would have earned all the staking rewards during that time. But with a 10% growth in coin, the numbers start to become significant. $600 outlay becomes a potential $46,000 or $110,000 plus if you'd held. But let's say it grew to 15% per month. We've got some pretty serious numbers. Now what if you just added one more tier? So you contributed $700 to the crowdfund, $700 worth of tokens, $1,400 in total. That's 7,000 tokens at 10 cents. And we'll go for a 5% growth again. You can play with these numbers, folks. $60,000 almost if you'd sold for a $1,400 outlay, and close to $100,000 if you'd held. And if we just say go towards our 10% growth, we would have a $260,000 upside if we'd held, plus all the staking rewards. So you can play with the numbers as to how many token packs you're going to get at each of the different tiers. Now what I'd like to do is look at what happens with the free tokens, the bonus pool tokens. So we have a table here that again talks about the scenario where we know that with the bonus pool tokens, they'll be staked, they'll be vested for 12 months, and then they're released at 5% per month. So at 5% per month, you can see here that by March 2024 your tokens will be released. So let's have a look. Let's go to the first table here, the token pools, and let's say that you personally referred 3 people at $100 tier and 1 person at $300. That would give you 4 personal referrals and 1,000. Sorry, we need to put in 1 person at tier 3. So 1 person at $700, 3 people at $100 gives us 1,000 in total of contributions, 4 people. When we do that, we get 1 share of this spillover maker pool. So let's have a look at what that's worth. So we now get 1 share of the spillover maker pool. So let's scroll down and see what that's worth. We have 20,000 tokens in the spillover maker pool, and let's say there are 5,000 qualifiers. That's 4,000 tokens per share. So if we scroll down here, we can see in the calculator the total amount of bonus pool tokens would be equal to, we need to put the number of shares we've qualified for. So we have 1 share. Okay, 1 share would give us 4,000 tokens. If we scroll down, we can see we've got 4,000 tokens. Let's go to our vesting staking model, and we can see here 4,000 tokens now, which start to be released at 5% per month beginning August 2022 and released fully in March 24. So 4,000 tokens. If we sold them and there was only a 5% growth in this token, let's go up and make sure we've got 5% chosen. We've got 10%, so let's do a 5% growth in the token, being very conservative. Okay, 5% growth in the token. By the time August next year, the coin would be at $8.55. If you sold the 5% as released to you, that's $1,700. That alone, just in month 1, what did you do? You referred 4 people who contributed $1,000. Month 2, 1,700. By the final month, you've got $4,000 worth of tokens at $21 a token. That's $56,000 you would have made from your free tokens from one spillover share. But basically, if you held them and now you put them into staking, so every time that 5% is released, stake it, earn the staking rewards, and HODL it, don't sell, that'll be $86,000. But let's be a little bit more ambitious and increase the token by 10% per month. Go back down again to our table, and we can see that that one share, 4,000 tokens, is now, if we sold them all, didn't hold them, every month we sold, we've got $2,000 a month. We're getting close to a full-time income here. I mean, by this stage, by about this month, that's $1,000 a week. For most people, that's replacing their income, and certainly at this stage, $163,000 is not bad. But look, if you held it, $348,000 plus you would have had the staking rewards. Now just think about this. If you had been a little bit more ambitious and you'd found 6 people at tier 1 and 2 people at tier 3, so you have now 2 shares of the pool. So now we've got 2 shares, 8,000 tokens. Go back here, 8,000 tokens starts to create some serious numbers. And say, what if the coin increased by 15% a month? Those free tokens were just 2 shares. If you sold them all, almost $1 million. And if you held them, 2.6 million, with that token growing in value to $331 in a couple of years. But as I said, we can't give you any guarantees on what the token value will be. I always like to be conservative at 5% per month. That would still be a $20 token at the end of that period, and that's still an incredible upside for a free token reward. So you can see here clearly that if you do decide to sell your tokens, there's still good upside. If you decide to HODL your tokens and take the staking rewards, a much more significant gain. In the end, it's up to you to decide what you do. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel, like the video, and leave a comment. That'd be much appreciated.